Hey everybody, I'm Tamara Beatty. This is Voice Fit, and we're talking about breathing, specifically Tank 1, or what I refer to as Tank 1. I think breathing is a big topic because a lot of people, especially when it comes to singing, have very strong ideas about good breathing or bad breathing, the right breathing, the wrong breathing. And it's sort of weird because we're walking around every day and we're breathing and we don't really ever think, gee, do I have enough air in order to say the rest of my sentence? Most of us don't usually think that way. So it's really hard to go through the process of breaking down something that we do every day. But in singing, we're doing things over and above our regular speaking. And because of that, we need to be able to access breathing in just a little bit different way, or a little bit more deeply, let's say. So I just want to share my ideas on this, and hopefully they will help. I think all those ideas that are out there are probably really fantastic. I like to think of it quite simply, and I've broken it down into 4 tanks. So this is tank 1, our low belly. It's the one that we use to speak regularly throughout the day. I'm never wondering, gee, do I have enough air to speak this sentence? Most people aren't. So that's the tank that mostly we're using in that type of speech. So tank 1. Tank 2 is when I get a little bit more into the ribs. The ribs sort of expand like this when I'm breathing in. And when I'm doing tank 1, they're obviously expanding, but for our purposes, it's easier just to imagine tank 1, belly, tank 2, rib. Of course, this is not all anatomically perfect, but sometimes understanding things too anatomically in the exact details can get in our way. It's like, I'm going to try and walk, and I'm going to try and think about every bone and muscle that's moving and what goes first. You'll just go crazy with it all. And breathing is the same thing, in my opinion, for most people. So if you find it easier to summarize it, then think tank 1. Tank 2 is the rib. Tank 3, when we breathe in a little heavier, so we can really fill up that back. So for me, tank 3 is the back. Tank 4 is this. It's kind of like chest up. It's when you'll see the shoulders rise. And what we're trying to do, in my opinion, is to really not engage tank 4. In other words, I could breathe from tank 4 all day long and hardly access. Is this 100% true? No, but the idea is, if I really want to get a good breath, I want to start with tank 1. So just breathe in through your nose only. And out. Put your hand on your tummy if you can. Just breathe in just a little bit. You can feel that tummy rise. And when you exhale, fall, right? Put your hand on your chest now to feel how you can breathe with your tummy out without this going. That's what we're looking to do. Breathe with this coming out without this going out and up. Okay, so let it all out. Tank 1, here's my navel. Hand is below. Good. It's something to try here. I'm just going to breathe in through tank 1, and then I'm just going to blow out. I actually have a lot of air that I can expel when I'm only breathing in a little bit. So this idea of I've got to take a huge breath before I sing or I speak, or if I'm doing something hard or heavy, is not necessarily true. It's not about a big breath. It's about a breath that actually gets you in a position where it's going to help you out, and it's not going to cause your other extra muscles around your voice to snap into place and try and help you do all the work. So again, what we want to do is get this tank 1 breathing under control. Now, this is extremely helpful for anybody who is experiencing fatigue, because oftentimes when we're experiencing fatigue, we're bypassing this a little bit. Or when we're singing in songs and we're trying to do a line, and let's say, for example, in a chorus, and we just can't get to the top of the line, like without going like this, or if you're going flat at the ends of all of your phrases, oftentimes we're just looking for a better breath. And There are a lot of ways you can go about getting a better breath, but I think the number one fastest and best, easiest way to start is just think, did I fill this first? And did I expel this first? So when I'm breathing in, then that helps me get a better breath for what I'm about to do. And if I can expel this first, that's the second best thing that we can do. So if that's too much to think about, just think, did I get my air into here as the very first thing I did before I sang? So if we're about to sing something like this, for example, this is a scale, but am I going to go like this? Mum, 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 mum. Or can I just take a second and go, mum, 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 mum. That is going to be so much more efficient. So every time you're about to sing, if you're finding that you're losing your breath, you're not getting to the end of your phrases, the ends of your phrases are flat, or if you're experiencing fatigue, I bet you that it will be very helpful to just re-engage with this, reconnect with it, and remember, oh yeah, I've got this tank 1. Now, one way to do it is to sit and to put your hand here and your hand here and to feel it like that. But for those who find it very difficult to even find that breath and differentiate it, when you're sitting, you can lie down. And so you just lie down and breathe in. It'll be a lot easier to feel how this is rising and falling. And don't think you have to do anything in particular. A lot of people, when they're thinking about breath, think tummy out. And they push their tummy out or they pull their tummy in. And while it's not terrible to do that, ideally you start observing your breath and watching what it does versus trying to make it do something and decide if it's correct or not. So, excellent. When you're about to do something difficult, ask yourself, did I just go into tank 4 right away, or did I start with tank 1? That is where we want to begin. So let's just begin with this concept. Try it out before you sing, get engaged with it, and then when you sing, just get that breath in there, and hopefully this will help the ends of your phrases. Watch that you don't breathe into tank 1 and 4 at the same time, in which case it will still help, but it will not be as helpful as if you just get into that tank 1 and then you engage the others without this tank 4 getting involved. That is our ideal goal, is to not use tank 4, get into tank 1 at the very first try. So if you like this and you're interested in just getting connected with this breath, I have a calm and relax 4-minute breathing meditation, which focuses very much on loosening up all the muscles and breathing into this tank and just relaxing everything at the same time. Okay, awesome. If you like these videos, please comment and also feel free to subscribe. And if you want a little notification, just hit the bell. Thanks so much.